morning, Year 10. Welcome to Remote Learning. We're here again. So we're starting a new topic today. So you need to have your maths workbook out and you're copying all these notes down into your workbook. I will go through the explanation on the video. You should be used to this by now, but I'll just run through it quickly. All the notes off the board have to be in your book. You also need to just stop the video and listen to my explanations. Rewind if you need to. The videos will be there for you forever, so if you need to go back and have a look at them before any exams, feel free. Okay, so let's get started. So start a new page. It's a new topic heading, interest and depreciation. This is actually a topic that you really need to understand for your own life. It's important that you can check on things when people are doing things for you in banks. Just because they have a job there doesn't mean to say they're not going to make mistakes. I've caught a lot of them out for making mistakes on my things. So just always, it's buyer beware, you need to be checking on them. Okay, so first interest we're learning about is simple interest. You have done this before, but we're starting with this one before we go into the harder ones. So simple interest is interest calculated on the original principal, original amount of money. It's calculated on that money for the whole period of time. So when we're talking about interest, it can be that you're earning the money because you're saving money and you're putting it in a bank account and you're earning interest on that money. Or you can be taking out a loan from the bank. Right, so you owe them the money and you will be paying interest on the money you owe them. So there's two ways that interest can work. So with simple interest, fixed term bank accounts earn simple interest. So if you lock your money away, you've got $10,000 saved and you think, well, my normal everyday savings account's not earning anything, I'll just put it away because I don't need it right now. I'll put it away for 2 years. And they will give you a higher interest rate if you lock it away for 2 years. And they will pay you that interest on that amount of money that you're investing with them, the $10,000. The other way that it works, simple interest works on personal loans. I do not advise anybody to go and get a personal loan. It's very expensive. So if you go to the bank and say, I really want to buy a car but I don't have the money, they'll say, all right, well, we need to do a few checks on you. They want to know that you're going to be somebody who can pay the money back. They will ask for 2 pay slips, your last 2 pay slips, so they can see what money you earn and whether you earn enough money to pay back the loan you're taking. They will also know every single thing that you've done in your life. Every time you've been late paying a payment on a credit card, late paying a bill, all of that gets recorded and it gives you a credit rating. If your credit rating is too low, you will not be able to get a loan from a bank. They're very tight now with their money and they are not going to give to someone who cannot afford to pay it back. Okay, so if you take out a personal loan and they grant it to you, that will be on something like a car or going on holiday, not that you can go anywhere much at the moment, or a boat. Remember, you want to be really paying these things back and not defaulting and being late paying or anything like that because it all goes on your credit rating. So a personal loan will generally be taken out by somebody as young as you because you haven't got a mortgage yet. A mortgage is a home loan and a home loan is something your parents have all got them. And if they wanted to buy a car, they might redraw on their mortgage or their home loan. You don't have a home loan, you're nowhere near getting a home loan. If you needed money borrowed from the bank, that would be how you would do it. The personal loans charge a simple interest rate, and it's not a very cheap way of doing it because even though you're paying the loan back, they are still charging you interest on the original amount you borrowed. So if you buy a $20,000 car and borrow $20,000 from a bank, you're paying back the interest that they charge on the whole $20,000, even though you are making repayments on it. Okay, so the simple interest calculations, we always start with the interest rate. So if it's 7%, it'll be 7 over 100. We always start with that. Then it's of the money that you're borrowing or you're depending on what's happening, times by the number of periods of time. Now this is where people come apart and they make a lot of mistakes on this. That has to tie in with that. So if our interest rate is per year, this will be the number of years. If our interest rate is per month, that will be the number of months. If that's interest rate is per day, like credit cards are, that will be the number of days. They have to be the same unit of time. Okay, so over here I'm going to start some examples. We're calculating the simple interest earned. Make sure you underline what you're looking for because these questions are going to get harder later. So it's just the interest we're calculating here. So simple interest, we start with our percentage. Right, now this is where we have to check. This is 3.6% P dot A dot. That stands for per annum. Annum is a year, so it's per year. If that's per year, our time has to be in years. Now in this question it is, so everything's okay and we can get started. So it's 3.6%, 3.6 over 100, times by the money, times by the 4 years. Work it all out on your calculator and you'll get $5,040. Now these next two are a little bit harder. So in B, we've got $8,200 invested. The interest rate is 3% P dot A dot, per annum, per year. This 5 months cannot be thrown straight into the formula. You have to change that to years first. So if we want to change from months to years, we're going to a bigger unit, so we divide by 12 because there's 12 months in a year. So I would rather, if you're doing 5 divided by 12, that we write it like a fraction as 5 over 12. So our working looks like this. Our simple interest is 3 over 100, that's not changing. Times by the money, times by 5 over 12 years. So this is per year, and this is now in years. 5 months is 5/12 of a year. Okay, so everything should then work. Put it in your calculator, you get 102.5, but we need money as 2 decimal places, so put the 0 on the end. It's $102.50. In the next one here, we've got $5,250 invested for 250 days at 2% per annum. So per annum, per year. This has to be in years, so we have to change days to years. Going to years is going to a bigger unit, so we divide, and there's 365 days in a year. So we're going to take this number, 250 days, and divide by 365, and you're going to just write it as 250 over 365. That's the fraction of a year it takes up. So our working looks like this, 2 over 100, 2%, times the money, and this is the tricky bit, times by 250 over 365 years. And when you put it all in your calculator, you're going to get a decimal, which has to be rounded off to 2 decimal places. So we're going to end up with $71.92 because we've got this being 5 or more. So we'll go to a 2. Okay, we're going to come back in the next video and do some more examples.